Hello, I am your Kid Critic Jack Mooney, and welcome back to the Jack Mooney Show. And in today's video, we are continuing with the ranking of the Star Wars movies, and let's start off with number 5. And I'm going to give this to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Originally this is really high up on my list, like number 2, but I rewatched it again, and I think the biggest issue with this movie is it doesn't have a really big rewatchability factor to it. But the magic is still there. I love that this was a great return to Star Wars after the prequels. And I think it is a pretty solid movie. J.J. Abrams is a phenomenal director. He really knows what he's doing, and I always trust him when he's working with the sci-fi universe. So I'm excited for him to be working on Episode 9 instead of Trevorrow. But I think this does a great job at world building. I love that they brought back the practical effects instead of the CGI. And all these new characters, I don't like how they were portrayed in The Last Jedi, but I like how, this was a great intro to them. Oscar Isaac and Adam Driver are a huge standout in this film. And Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, they're okay. They definitely have work to do as actors, but, they're doing their best, and I'm having fun. But, the biggest part of the movie, what I love, is seeing Harrison Ford back as Han Solo. He just, even though he's in his 70s, he just still gives it his all. And it's just phenomenal. He's hilarious, and it's heartbreaking when you see one of your favorite characters die. I think what this movie did right is when they did kill Han, it worked more than when Luke died. And when Luke died, I thought it felt forced and unnecessary. But I feel like there needed to be some emotional depth to The Force Awakens to make it work. So I do appreciate that. I know there's haters of The Force Awakens that say it's just like A New Hope, but I could see it's inspired by it. It's not blatantly copying it, and I don't have a huge problem when movies get inspiration. Obviously, A New Hope is a better film, but this movie still has its original values, and I think it's an incredible film. Just it's not as rewatchable as I would hope it would be. So yeah, number 5, The Force Awakens. If somebody would have told me a year ago that Rogue One would be my 4th favorite Star Wars film, I would have looked at them like they were crazy. But, a week ago, I rewatched Rogue One, and I'm happy to say that Rogue One is a phenomenal film, and it does deserve the number 4 spot on this list. I'm going to start off, there's 2 problems with this movie. And I think one of them is the performance by Forrest Whitaker. I think it's the only borderline bad part of the movie. He's just really over the top, and it's really annoying, and I'm glad they killed him off at the beginning. And I also have a problem with Felicity Jones. She's fine. She's just not likable, and I don't really have sympathy or emotion for her character. But that's about it. I know people talk about the 2-dimensional characters, but with a movie like this, I think story is everything. And the story is just incredible. The film is exhilarating and very dark. It's the darkest Star Wars movie by far. And when you think about this is a war movie, where Star Wars comes from. And not only is this one of the best Star Wars movies, but it's one of the best action movies of all time. The last hour is just incredible on a visual level. And I think the actors do pull it off. These rebels are trying to save the galaxy from this impending Death Star. And it's believable, and it's exciting, and it's just a fun time at the movies. Darth Vader is also in it. He has such an incredible badass scene at the end of the movie where he just kills all of the people trying to save the Death Star. Not save the Death Star. Trying to save people from the Death Star. That they have the plans to it. But Darth Vader kicking ass. He's the best Star Wars villain. So I love this movie. Visually, it's amazing. So yeah, watch Rogue One. It's amazing. So I think by far the most fun Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. it's not the best, but if you just want to kick back and relax and just enjoy yourself in the Star Wars universe, it definitely, hands down, goes to Return of the Jedi. You start off and you go to Jabba's palace. And that's just an incredible scene. I know I keep saying incredible, but it is. The practical effect of Jabba looks amazing. And just being immersed in this gambling and kind of shady side of the universe is just great. I love that the crew is trying to save Han from being frozen in carbonite. And I just love seeing Leia, Han, Luke, Chewie, Lando, C-3PO, R2. Just seeing all of them together is just a really magical thing, and that's why I have a deep appreciation for the original trilogy. They don't make Star Wars movies like the first three anymore, unfortunately. But every time I watch them, it just brings joy to myself. I also love the ending. What an incredible lightsaber fight between Luke and his father, Darth Vader. Fighting him, and he knows he's his father. And Luke is insecure and he doesn't know what he wants. And that's why I think it's such an emotional scene. And Lucas does a great job showing that. Luke doesn't know what he wants, and he doesn't want to fight his father, but he knows he has to when the Emperor is intervening. And it's just one of the best scenes in movie history when Vader saves Luke from the Emperor, basically killing him. And Luke being able to see who his father is at the end. And Vader saying to his son, tell Leia that you were right, and it's just very sad. And who doesn't like a happy ending? This movie has one of the best happy endings of all time, and it just brings a smile to your face. I love Return of the Jedi. It's been my personal favorite Star Wars movie for a long time, but it's not the best, but I love it. It's such a fun film. So I love older movies, and I think that's a reason why I love the original trilogy so much, and that's also a reason why I love Star Wars, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm not calling it A New Hope. I am calling it Star Wars. Yes, the original 1977 version comes in number 2 on my list. For the time that this came out, it's so incredible, and it holds up today. It holds up better than some of the prequels, even. This story of a boy getting help from a mentor, rescuing a princess, meeting this, rebellious pilot. It's such a classic story, and it's easily in, the top 10 movies of all time. The original Star Wars, does everything perfectly, from the acting to the score to the cinematography, the action. Everything about this movie is perfect, and George Lucas, not only is this the best movie of his career, but this is what made him famous. This is the movie that led to the prequels. But, I love Star Wars. And it's just a really exciting movie. I hear some people are like, oh, it's really dry, I don't want to watch it, it's boring. But it's not. And if you go into the right mindset, you're in an excited mood, it really is impeccable. Just to see what they were able to create. It's really funny. While watching these original movies, I never realized how big of a part C-3PO used to have. I just forgot. But, they need to bring 3PO back because he's really funny. But regardless, I love this movie. I watched it when I was a little kid, and I'm still watching it now, and I still say, wow, how did Lucas do that? I want to make a movie like that someday. So yeah, I love Star Wars. It comes in at number 2. So yes, that of course means that the best Star Wars movie of all time is Empire Strikes Back. It has the best ending. It has the best acting. It has the best screenplay. It is the best everything. But I want to start in the ending. I rewatched this movie, for the first time in like 5-6 years a couple days ago. And it really struck me how powerful the ending is. it's unhappy. You know, you don't know the future of Han. Luke finds out who his father really is. He gets part of his arm cut off, and then they just fly away, and audiences must have been struck by what happens next, similar to Infinity War. And I was even like, oh my god, this is... It shocked me to, at the age I'm at now, I was compelled to want to watch Return of the Jedi after that. You know, this is also the best dynamic between all the characters. Between Leia and Han, it's so great. Han Solo is so funny in this movie. You know, he's funny in all the movies, but I think this is the best performance Ford has given in his career, maybe. It also has the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars history. I think the fight where Luke may not be prepared enough to fight Vader, but he decides to anyways, is genius. And even the training with Yoda, I think that is so strong, and one of the reasons why I think The Last Jedi is lacking. Luke and Rey was not nearly as good as Yoda and Luke. And it just has a lot of great scenes. You know, when Luke is training and he sees his face in Vader's mask. The opening to the film. It's a phenomenal film. It has been my pleasure ranking all the Star Wars movies. And I hope to rank the Indiana Jones films next. So thank you. I'm your kid critic, Jack Mooney. And have a great day at the movies. Empire Strikes Back, #1.